The kind of shoes you need to make yourself comfortable. It's been a great day. The weather's held out. We've had a good time. Lots and lots of fighting, lots of fun, lots of activities. And we get to help Their Excellencies create all the new things for this barony. So this is awesome. Let's have a good time. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Would Gideon of Glyn Dwfn come now before His Highness? You have representative or skip?
Are they likely to go to anything?
I doubt His Highness.
It's just yep.
Okay.
I'm here representing Gideon. Cool.
You are an acceptable representative. Words of valor and chivalry have come to us upon the winds like the tales of Heracles of old, menacing the Hydra and chaining Cerberus. Before us is one such warrior whose appearance reveals a generous glow, behind which shines the greatness of their ancestors. Their magnanimity, valor, and their innumerable other virtues will exhaust the pens of great historians one day, their deeds destined to make their name luminous. Therefore do we, Luciano and Tessina, Serenissima Principe e Principessa de la Vite, grant unto Gideon of Glyn Dwfn the Grail of the Summits. Bear our sign with pride from this day forward, done this 14th day of May, Anno Societatis, what is it, 59 or something, 57, being 2022 in the Common Era, bearing our true signatures and imprint of our great seal.
There are good things about what Gideon's doing with the heavy community down here, and we wanted to recognize some of that. The scroll is painted by Nora. Thank you very much. Or they're not here, Gideon. Cheers.
3 cheers for Gideon, whether he hears them or not. Hip, hip.
Huzzah!
Hip, hip.
Huzzah!
Hip, hip.
Huzzah! Are we live streaming? Or?
He might see it
He might
digitally.
see it.
He'll feel bad for not being here.
There you go.
Shame. While the owl of Minerva spreads its wings only with the falling of the dusk, will Ivan Shieldbane, you can do that. We would shine the light of Apollo on Ivan Shieldbane's great acts of service. Your actions and deeds have made you known to us and show that you embody the spirit of Minerva. And thus we, Luciano Principe de Pino and Tessina Principessa de Pino, do wish to recognize your enduring service to our serene principality. Therefore, we move to mark you with the Grail of the Summits. Bear our sign with pride.
This is one of those ones when I got the recommendation where it's like, wait, you don't already have this? I'm sure he's had this. And if you did, nobody put it in the OPs.
I don't think so. I think
so. You definitely do a lot of service, and you're definitely deserving of this. Scroll painted and by Elizabeth Gwyneth Blackmore. Sorry. Thank you for all of you.
Aaron Scott, come before His Highness. Luciano and Tessina, most serene highnesses of the summits, in concurrence with their most illustrious sable lions of Antir, Spin, and Rivkin, would grant Aaron Scott a place in our court, perpetually laboring in their honored service to our grand principality and sacred kingdom. You have been seen and are by us greatly prized. Therefore, we take unto our privilege to grant you an award of arms, with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. We do beseech you to consult with our heralds to design suitable and unique arms, that you may increase the beauty of the land by their display.
We're probably started just a little bit before the pandemic. But during the pandemic, we were on the ANS minister, I believe, locally. his gluten-free pancakes this morning.
I did.
That was something that was actually presented in the recommendations that you were going to be making gluten-free pancakes. I think they know their audience. So thank you for everything you do, and we would like to give you this award of arms. Thank you.
3 cheers for the newest award of arms. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Their Highness now call behind all of those, the populace, who wish to pledge their support and fealty to the coronet of the summits. Bring forth the grail. At least he's on his job. Is this everyone? All right. Populace, repeat after me. By this pledge, I affirm that Luciano and Tessina are rightful prince and princess of the summits. Faith and truth will I bear to them. In all that may concern this realm. So long as they rule the summits. The waters of the Grail run clear. And the silver griffin flies free. So say I.
Those that we hear and for our part, we pledge to you your house with our protection. We will watch over you and present ourselves between you and all your foes, as long as rule the summits and the high mountains hold the girls in the sky. Those are we, Luciano. Yes.
His Highness calls before him temperance, true love. She comes running from the other side. She wasn't in court. Shame on her. In the time of tourney, when one wishes to inspire their favorite fighter, they bestow upon them a token of their favor, be it a glove, garter, or even a sleeve. These tokens are presented to symbolize the connection between the two. Fighters proudly wear their token as a reminder that they are better for that inspiration than without. Temperance, true love, for inspiring your fighter beyond what they might do alone, we are pleased to award you with a silver sleeve. Take this recognition of your dedication and continue to inspire your champion to greatness.
This one was designed by Luna Francesca Di Marco Lupi and calligraphied and illuminated by Gwyneth Blackthorne.
A joyous noise for the silver sleeve. Newcomers are next.
Okay, we're just looking at this.
Right. All those for whom this is their first event, please come before His Alpine Highness.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Please come. So we have a tradition that we stole from somebody. I don't remember who. But it's to encourage them to come back. The tradition has started to be that we give out a cap and a cup. Glyn Dwfn is starting their own tradition, and His Excellency will explain that in just a moment. Go ahead. There are a lot of you, so we're going to do. You got a choice. You get to choose between our tradition or their tradition, because we did not bring enough for everybody. But they're new tradition.
So for us, newcomers are part of our community, and one thing about community is food. And we want to bring you to the table. And so we are going to provide any newcomers who wish them a bowl so that you can come to the table with us, feast with us. Our feast events in the fall will get you started on your feast year. And there's a whole lot. So you got choices.
We have these taps and these cups, and they have these bowls and these spoons. So, yeah, what you hey, you want this one? Or you want to choose a different one? I want to take two turtles off, but there are choices. There's multiple.
Right.
Well, that's not. Sorry. Now there are bowls over here.
Which can also be used as very large cups.
You could also be a moment a little bit later where children will come up again to get access to the toys and not just do their here. So,
Yeah, we also have things for kids.
well, that's what they do. Yeah. She's been so cute, throwing things around. So, we do this to encourage you all to come back. We are giving you something that is useful for where we're at, and will remind you of this place and encourage you to go, I need to use that cup again. I'm going to go to the next event. We want you to come back. We want you to be a part of our community. We want you to be a part of our family. Thank you for joining us. It is great to see so many new people here. To have this problem of not having enough cups is awesome. Thank you, everyone. Joyce Lewis.
Joyce Lewis for the newcomer.
Put on the thing before I speak. Yeah, he was from. Donald Lyons. I don't see it. He's also not like the show for anything else. We'll call him.
Second staff, come now before His Highness.
Donald Lyons, is he still here?
Is Donald Lauren still here?
All right. We will move on to the next piece of business while you fetch him. Thank you.
Vesta Antonia Aurelia, please present yourself. Please present yourself before His Alpine Highness.
I am joy and serenity up here. I have not dread anything.
I have not called him His
All
Dread
about
Highness
joy.
once.
You don't get to call him
His Joyous Highness. His Smiling, Dancing Highness.
I don't know about that.
Well, it says right here, we danced our youth in a dream of Principality. Summit's paradise, proud and pretty. We, Luciano and Tessina, joyous and mindful, Prince and Princess, would recognize one who has brought the plenties of blessed mirth to ourselves and our Principality. Vesta Antonia Aurelia, for bringing joy that both brightens and strengthens the spirit, we bestow upon you the joy of the summits. We charge you to continue to bring optimism, good company, and joy to all. Your glory is sealed by God's own pen this 14th day of May, AS 57. 3 cheers for the joy of the summits. Hip, hip.
Huzzah!
Hip, hip.
Huzzah!
Hip, hip.
Huzzah!
No.
I don't see the person that's ready to get him. So.
Okay, so moving on His Highness calls Melisande de Frayne before his presence. I almost said dread presence, but I won't say that. Dun, 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 dun.
I know you don't necessarily want to be up here, but I didn't know that until after we had already done all this.
Sorry. What a great miracle is mankind. Beings worthy of reverence and honor. Man needs among all else to cultivate intelligence and reason, with flourishes in science and art. In these, she surpasses all other animals. The muse celebrates her and their magnificent glory of all knowledge. Their efforts to increase their knowledge and skills show that they aspire to the sign of the laurel. Therefore do we, Luciano and Tessina, Serenissima Principe and Principessa, grant unto Melisande de Vrain the Grail of the Summits. Bear our sign with pride from this day forward.
Even though you're here, you still do lots of great things for us. And you can't share this. You're going to put it on backwards, so you'll have to fix it yourself.
All right, look you, Lydia. All righty.
There's Alarm!
Alarm is here. Please present yourself before His Highness. His wonderful, smiling Highness. On the field of Mars, you've come seeking virtues and onos. And with your skill and service, Alern Ekenstaff, you have demonstrated your mastery of these ideals. Your actions and deeds have made you known to us and show that you embody the spirit of Mars. And thus we, Luciano, Principe, Serena, and Tessina, Illustre Principessa, do wish to recognize your valor and skill. Therefore, we are moved to mark you with the Grail of the Summits for your martial prowess. Bear our sign with pride.
This one was illuminated by Christmas Carol. She didn't get the memo that they're supposed to write them big because my eyes aren't so good anymore. So
I'm gonna borrow my glasses.
You've been a part of the Maori
Yeah,
community
let me
for a bit. And you deserve this. You've been teaching, you've been out here fencing, and bringing up new fighters, and we appreciate the work you've done. Thank you. Thank you.
Three cheers. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. There will now be an exchange of largesse.
So usually I have a princess here that does this part behind me while I do nothing talk. So Sigrid's going to do the princess role of handing out things to people while I come out and talk.
Can you be a pretty princess?
The largest exchange, we're handing out gifts to each other, not for ourselves, but to then pass on to other people. You're given stuff from the very important Barbarian, presents farm line, so that we can see the work of all great people. So we will be getting stuff from the great Verity and passing that off. Maybe up in 8 hours away in Canada when I go there in a couple weeks. Some of the work that this group will do will show up there. People will be seeing all the work you guys do down here. I don't actually have any tools in the bag, so I can't guess where people are coming from. We get large enough from all over. So we do this exchange so that we have stuff to show off all the things you guys do to everybody else. So when you do largesse, make sure to put your name and stuff on it, where you're from, so people know who you are. And sometimes you might get an email or something saying you were asking questions. It's been known to happen. And we appreciate everybody's generosity of largesse. Thank you. Thank you for taking. And we have now speed run through my court. So
It's okay, we got plenty.
That's not fast. So His Highness now punts court over to their excellencies, Glyn Dwfn.
Thus resumes the court of their excellencies, Melisande and Pierce. Not so dread, Cornet. Baronial words.
only a little dread then.
Thank you all for coming. It's incredible to see how many people came out. I was super moved by how many newcomers we have here, how many just stopped by the event and came and said hello. So it is that new blood that is amazing, but it's great to see old faces as well. So thank you all for coming. We have a lot of business to get through, and it's going to take just a little longer because we got to explain the awards that we've created a little bit. So you won't know what a grail is. I mean, you'll know what a grail is, but you're not going to know any of our awards because they got new names, new things. So we'll talk a little bit about them, but hopefully we'll have a good time, right? Did you have a good time? Good. We'll keep having a good time. Did Your Excellency have any words?
Can't hear her if she does.
He thanked everybody, and apologies, it's just not loud enough. They're all way over there. He thanked everyone. We were able to zoom her into all of the finals for her championships, which he really appreciated. We did not anticipate having to do this, so I appreciate everyone working with us. But she's had a great time despite not being able to be here physically.
Lorenzo de Leone Salvini, Your Excellencies, bid you come forward.
My good angle wise.
I'll adjust to fit here.
Please come forward. So, for those who don't know Lorenzo is a major part of our archery community and is an exceptional archer. For one, I have this token to pass on. Apologies, this is not a modern book. From the 2020 rankings, where I believe he came in 7th, but he gets a coin for that. Oh my gosh. Someone fix it. Okay.
Sorry, merchant.
Lorenzo is a fantastic part of our community. And so when Melisandre and I first wanted to create this award, we thought of no one else than Lorenzo. And this award that we're creating today is called the Ghoul's Comet. It is for martial prowess. Our herald will read the words, and please listen.
Banner of change, of ending and rebirth. Battle flag across the stars, Norn's tear, burning sky brand. The comet marks battle, hails victors, notes glory. So has the Pantheon called this blood shaker to kneel before them. Lorenzo, their excellencies, Pierce and Melisandre bestow upon you the award of the Ghoul's Comet for your contributions to the martial communities of Glyn Dwfn, on this 14th day of May, Anno Societatis 57, being 2022 Gregorian.
This scroll was created by Viscountess Elisabetta. She did the whole illumination and the original design. And we've also got a system for you. I don't know. That's not good. That's okay. Thank you so much for the donation.
For the first recipient of the Ghoul's Comet, hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip!
If I were to have someone walk around with this scroll that I'm talking about,
Yes.
that'd be good.
Okay. Because they're really nice. And
Your excellencies, the current archery team.
we don't have one.
Okay,
Are you talking?
yes.
During the pandemic, actually a little before the pandemic, our archery champion moved away, moved to Washington. How dare they? And so for a long time, our court has been stepped up. We had no archery champion to call forward. So today we held a tournament. The person who marched it and who was just up also won it.
Lorenzo,
Come on back. We should have just had to stay, but you know.
he approaches with the weaponry of his station.
So it comes with this quiver. And new this year, we have commissioned a new bracer because the old one got lost a while ago, and also had the old arms on it. Yeah. Okay.
Lorenzo, victorious this day on the archery field, their excellencies Pierce and Melisandre are minded to have you join their court as archery champion of Glyn Dwfn. Are you prepared to defend, nurture, and serve the barony and people of Glyn Dwfn, and to swear fealty or service to their excellencies?
Yes.
Repeat after me. Hereby swear fealty and true service to Pierce and Melisandre, the coronets of Glyn Dwfn, to obey their excellencies' lawful commands, and to faithfully execute the requirements of archery champion of Glyn Dwfn, to serve the people to defend, nurture, and serve the people of the barony so long as the Pantheon bears its stars.
so long as the Pantheon bears.
So say aye. Your Excellencies, and we for our part
And we, for our part,
swear fealty to you, our champion,
swear fealty to you, our champion,
to protect and defend you and your household,
to protect and defend you and your household,
to nourish and foster your endeavors,
to nourish and foster your endeavors,
to promote your works beyond our lands,
to promote your work beyond our land,
with all our power,
with all our power,
and by every star in the Pantheon,
and by every star in the Pantheon,
so long as we remain Coronets of Glyn Dwfn.
so long as we remain coronets of Glyn Dwfn.
So say we.
So say we, here,
Say please join us in our court.
please join us in our court and a place of honor to get your wedding ceremony. I think it's on there.
We have a presentation by Lady Hannah the Storyteller on behalf of Mistress Jadwiga Rodzisławska.
I have loved Glyn Dwfn and its people for many years. And so when the joyful news came to me of its ascension to a barony, I sought to gift this new barony such a treasure as no other branch in Antir has. And so I sent a missive to Mistress Jadwiga of Carrigbon, made famous throughout the known world for creating the 50-year tapestry, 7 years of embroidery of 50 panels, many feet wide, each showing a year of our history. And though she takes but few commissions, so moved was she by my story of Glyn Dwfn's heart and bravery and creativity and love that she accepted mine. And I come before you now with the fruits of many months of daily labor, hand embroidered throne cushions. The thrones of Glyn Dwfn. Yeah, those are your cushions. Yes.
All right. Gladly sit my butt upon these. For us,
I will.
unless you end up taking the banner to her. It's really awkward, but also great.
For the gift of Mistress Jadwiga and Lady Hannah the Storyteller, a joyful noise. Reme de Pigny, Your Excellencies bid you come forward.
We're so excited that Remy was coming to this event. Didn't know until I was peeking on the pre-reg list that Remy was going to come. Glyn Dwfn has a really special culture because we have a very strong connection to our college group, and because of that, we have members that come and go quite often because they're in the midst of those changes in their life where they're getting into new careers, they're finding their place, they're finding their family. So we wanted to create an award that recognized specifically members of our populace that started their journey in Glyn Dwfn but have moved on to other places because we wanted to remind them of their home. We wanted them to have a way to find their way back. This award is called the Compass and Quadrant, and our very first recipient is Remy. And in case anyone thinks Remy's not deserving, they spent the entire day pretty much as my stunt retinue, and we had great conversation. They carried my chair everywhere. Just a fabulous, fabulous human being. And I'm so glad they moved not to Florida, and instead moved to Reading. And I accept that.
Somewhere, learning the ways of the society, finding their passions and interests, meeting friends, and making friends into family. The very fortunate began in the lands of the starry Pantheon. To recognize those who have continued their journey in the society elsewhere, but whose path was rooted in the deep valleys of Glyn Dwfn. Their Excellencies Pierce and Melisandre created the Order of the Compass and Quadrant to remind its recipients that no matter where they go in the known world, they are always remembered and welcome back home in Glyn Dwfn. To this end, their Excellencies have entered Reme de Pegni into the Order of the Compass and Quadrant this 14th day of May, NSS High 57 in 2022 Gregorian. Melisandre Dufresne, their Excellencies bid you come forward.
I'm sorry.
Hello.
So another award we wanted to create, it's actually not technically an award, it's a token. And we couldn't think of a better person to give this one to first, because he's a little irreverent sometimes, and has a twisted sense of humor. And I think we'll appreciate this a little bit. We as baronial coronets are taking it upon our prerogative to grant heads of cattle to our specific populace members. These heads of cattle can be given in any number, any amount, and they can be given multiple times. They're meant to be given for individual acts of chivalry, honor, service, prowess. For Melisandre, her help with our reign so far has already, with our largesse, has been exceptional. She does so much service. So for this, we are going to award her 5 heads of cattle, which you may, upon listening to the both words and warnings of my herald, please listen closely. You are entering into a contract.
Melisandre Dufresne, their Excellencies have heard of your deeds and are utterly satisfied with what they have learned. After taking stock of the situation, they are moved to note that you have proven yourself outstanding in your field. Their Excellencies choose to milk this opportunity by granting you 5 heads of cattle. You are hereby granted the exclusive rights and privileges to care for and nurture these cattle through the enrichment of the barony and non-baronial lands, insomuch that you remain in fealty to their Excellencies and provide 20% of all milks, cheese, and curds to the baronial coffers, to be distributed and used in their Excellencies see fit, not for resale, not inheritable or transferable in the event of your death, dismemberment, or defenestration, not for use for any purposes prohibited by corpora, including without limitation development, design, manufacture, production of nuclear, missile, chemical, or biological weapons.
For the newest,
For the first member of for the first cowherd?
yeah.
A joyous noise!
You know, we knew that was going to happen. We did. Yes. It's not a boo, it's a move.
Good, is that clear?
We just wanted to take this opportunity to announce we are creating a new championship. At Samhain, we will have our very first Bardic champion who will be joining our court. As is tradition with Glyn Dwfn, we do things a little differently, especially with our arts and sciences community. So this should not be viewed as a competition Bardic. This is a community Bardic. It will be a Bardic circle in which the other bards will vote for other people. They will let us know who they believe should represent their community and represent us in their court. So again, we would love to spread that word far and wide. We have a very strong Bardic community in Glyn Dwfn, and I'm super excited to be able to do this and have someone join our court in at Samhain. Yeah, thank you. Let me just give a quick word on that. So we're going to do populist fealty and populist service, and we take fealty fairly seriously. So you do not have to swear fealty. You can also just swear service. They are different. There's different words to both of them. because we are making an agreement when we do fealty. It's a contract, kind of. In history, it was a contract. And so we are agreeing to do certain things, you're agreeing to do certain things. So we're going to take this opportunity to first do fealty, and then there'll be an opportunity for service. We didn't want everyone to think there's just the one opportunity.
Those who wish to pledge fealty to their excellencies, Pierce and Melissandia, please come forward.
I don't, but I want.
If someone wants to grab her, yeah, she got it right. Wonderful. Thank you.
Would you all please repeat after me? Here do I swear fealty and true service.
Here do I swear fealty and true service
To Melissandia and Pierce,
to Melissandia and Pierce,
the coronets of Glyn Dwfn,
the coronets of Glyn Dwfn,
to obey their excellencies' lawful commands
to obey their excellencies' lawful commands
in all matters that concern this barony,
in all matters that concern this barony,
and to nurture and uphold the welfare
and to nurture and uphold the welfare
of the people of the barony,
of the people of the barony,
to deal courteously with those of every degree,
to deal courteously with those of every degree,
so long as the pantheon bears its stars.
so long as the pantheon bears its stars.
So say I.
So say I,
Your excellencies, and we for our part
And we, for our part,
swear fealty to you,
swear fealty to you,
to protect and defend you and your households,
to protect and defend you and your household,
to nourish and foster your endeavors,
to nourish and foster your endeavors,
to promote your works beyond our lands,
to promote your works beyond our lands,
with all our power and
With-
by every star in the pantheon,
with all our power and with every star of the pantheon,
so long as we remain coronets of Glyn Dwfn.
so long as we remain coronets of Glyn Dwfn.
So say we.
So say we, Pierce, Baron. He's saying it. Love you, but we love you. Thank you. Thank you all.
Those who wish to swear service, please approach their excellencies.
oh yeah, just stay. You can do it.
You don't have to do both.
We'll do both.
I can give it whatever, but like it's our first time.
You now swear service to Pierce and Melissandia, your undoubted coronets, that you will obey their excellencies' lawful commands in all matters that concern this barony, and deal courteously with those of every degree, so long as their excellencies remain coronets of Glyn Dwfn. Coronets, and we on our honor
And we, on our honor,
pledge to support you
pledge to support you
in your service to the barony,
in your service to the barony,
to protect and defend you
to protect and defend you
with all of our power,
with all of our power,
so long as we bear the coronets of Glyn Dwfn.
so long as we bear the coronets of Glyn Dwfn. So say we, Pierce, Baron. Thank you.
Thank you.
What?
Okay.
Good plan.
Robin Bowring, their excellencies bid you forward.
Just stay.
You want to do words?
Yes. Robin is a very special person to us. Robin is a very special person. And it's so funny because, you know, thinking about this new award that we are creating, I think it's actually an order, right?
It is in order.
So Robin will be the first member of this order. I actually kind of tasked Robin with talking with someone yesterday who I felt may have not felt like they were welcome, or may have felt on the peripheral. And they had no problem running over and doing that. Sorry, I can't look at you all crying. Today, turns out, and Cormac will be happy if we can get it registered in time, but we are creating the Order of the Rainbow. This is specifically for gentles who encourage and promulgate and what, I'm losing words. Nurture diversity in our group. It is not meant to be given for alternative personas or anything like that. It's about people who make space for other people, who make them feel welcome. And Robin does that wherever they go. And they're willing to teach, and they're willing to make space. And so for that, we're welcoming you to this order. This scroll, I get to read the back of this, was crafted by Fiorenzo.
Oh my gosh!
Fiorenzo is a former member of Glyn Dwfn, a former member of Robin's household, and moved to Montana. So this we actually commissioned and had mailed to us. So this was made with a lot of love. There's a whole lot of words. I'm not going to read them, but there was so much love in this, and I just wanted you to know that.
The grand valley of Glyn Dwfn mirrors the vast sky above it, and the glory of the cosmos is reflected in the people below. As stars, planets, comets, moons, and other marvelous phenomena shape the beauty of the universe, so too does the wide array of people shape the wonder of our lands. We recognize the ways Robin has helped increase the many and manifold variety of our lands, illuminated minds and hearts in the darkness of unknowing, and created havens for the shining souls of our people. Their Excellencies Pierce and Melissandia have invited you to the Order of the Rainbow for your works in supporting diversity in our barony, enriching the Principality, Kingdom, and known world. On this 14th day of May, Anna Societatis 57.
Keep it up.
Thank you. A joyous noise! Their Excellencies, and likely His Highness as well, invite all the children forward. Children.
So I heard
Over there, sorry, my bad.
I heard over the weekend a lot of comments about how people are so excited to see so many children, which made me quite happy as well. And I loved when they ran up and they were like, what do we have to do to get a coin? What do we need to do? So we wanted to give you all an opportunity to look through our chest of goodies. Oh my gosh, I can't bend over. Please look through, take only one item so we have enough for everyone, but please peruse real quick. Oh, yeah, that's oh, that was probably part of that game.
Computer. You put rubber bands on. Rubber band down.
Oh!
It's a rubber band.
I like this picture. Make it. I've been asked to sing something, so I'm going to sing you one of the silliest songs I've written, and it is all about the importance of a baron getting his morning coffee. Dying was our baron, lying on the ground, life seeping away from him, quickly heaven bound. At his side, Our Lady Baroness, face contorted in a frown, said, "Love, what would you have of me?" He answered, "Bring me coffee from the town." La da da da, la da da da. And he answered, "Bring me coffee from the town." And so Our Lady Baroness called her ladies nigh. She took her silver and her gold, bid her love goodbye. She made no sigh of protest for the beauty of the wife of a strong and noble baron to search out the elixir of life. La da da da, la da da da, to search out the elixir of life. So Our Lady Baroness in her car did go. 'Twas a fierce and noble steed, could fit a dozen or so.
Oh, no. I remember this in a minute. Her mount it was a hybrid of great mileage and great speed, with room to sit a dozen maids, a fearless and noble steed, but with no knack for navigation, and they quickly lost their way. Wandering through this foreign land, their hearts laden with dismay, when out of the corner of her eye she saw looming to the side of the road a fearsome snarling beast, arrows bristling in its hide. Great metal-coated mandibles, teeth powerful and foul. It dropped its jaws and raised its claws, shrieked an eardrum-splitting howl. But our Baroness, such a beauty, need only look into its eyes. It heaved a sigh and settled down, completely mesmerized. La da da da, la da da da. And the dragon by her beauty was mesmerized. The dragon now behind them, they continued up the road. But as the sun rose higher, they with worry overflowed. When at last they passed a farmer with his child and his wife, asked the Baroness, please tell us where is the elixir of life. Said the farmer to the Baroness, to yon Starbucks you must go. 'Tis not a great deal further, just continue up this road. 'Cause there you'll meet a creature, a mysterious and great being, a mage called a barista, doing magic with a bean. The elixir, cream and sugar that will cure your husband's ails, topped with whipped cream and a lid, in a venti holy grail. La da da da, la da da da. In a venti or a Trenti, holy grail. The Baroness did thank him and continued on her way. But lo, no Starbucks could she find that Our Lady's resolve sway. No, 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 not ever. Her quest she carried on. But every fool she questioned said that Starbucks was just yon. When above her head a 7, glowing with unearthly light, and there the coffee flowing free. What a blessed, blessed sight. La da da da, la da da da. Oh, 7, 11, a blessed sight. The Baroness then returned to her husband's side. He said, goodbye, my lady love, for now, alas, I die. The Baroness only smiled at her husband's solemn frown. She said, my love, oh, you'll not die. Here's some coffee from the town. La da da da, la da da da. Here's some coffee. Here's some coffee from the town. Oh.
As you can tell, Colette is an amazing bard. I look up to Colette in her bardic art. So when we thought of someone to create this new award for, to have as the first for our award celebrating the art, we couldn't think of anyone better. So we are thus forth and now creating the award of the Green Flame. It is given in the pursuit and exceptional ability in the arts and sciences. And bardic is art. So thank you. You are the first member. I don't think it's an order. It's an award. It's an award. There's awards, orders, things like that. So we wanted to give this to you. We don't have a scroll because Her Excellency is making it. And she was in the middle of painting it when she caught COVID. So it is in the works. We do have the token that you can take with you, but we will get that to you. And then I believe we have some words. You can say, you can stand.
The alchemist labors to understand the glory of the universe, and that eagerness likewise burns in the hearts and minds of those of our people who craft beauty and spark imagination in the lands of the starry pantheon. Thus we are inspired to recognize one whose learning and skill has increased the beauty of our lands and the knowledge of our people. Colette, their Excellencies Melisande and Pierce are minded to bestow upon you the first of the Award of the Green Flame for your labors in the arts and sciences, done this 14th day of May, Anno Societatis 57.
Thank you. Thank you. Keep doing it. It's wonderful. Enter our bardic championship.
A joyous noise for the first recipient of the green flame. Cormac Moore, their excellencies bid you forward.
Actually, I think we're missing someone.
This
You as well.
Antonio Aurelia. They're
You
they're
It's really hard. It's really hard, it turns out, to try and get someone that you set your entire schedule to in the awards list. So we just decided to get you together because it's totally easier. We've actually already introduced this token. Cormac is the one that came up with the idea. He's the one that ran it by me when we first were starting talking about what did we want our barony to be. And he brought up the idea of allowing heads of cattle. And so we are making the precedent that you don't have to live in the barony to be allowed to drive your cattle through our land. So long as you pay the tax. So long as you follow the work of our rules.
Your Excellencies have heard of your deeds and are utterly satisfied with what they've learned. After taking stock of the situation, they're moved to note that you've proven yourself outstanding in your field. Your Excellencies choose to milk this opportunity by granting you 5 heads of cattle. You are hereby granted the exclusive rights and privileges to care for and nurture these cattle for the enrichment of the barony and on baronial land, insomuch that you remain guilty to their excellencies and provide 20% of all milks, cheeses, curds, to the baronial coffers to be distributed and used as their excellencies fit, not for resale, not inheritable nor transferable upon the event of your death, dismemberment, or defenestration. That use for any purposes including without limitation development of design, manufacture, production of nuclear, missile, chemical, or biological weapons. No animals were harmed in production, recognition, any resemblance to natural animals, living, dead, or events past, present, or future, purely coincidental. It's like 2 pages.
No. There's like 2 pages. Really. You're good.
Do not eat, not a toy, and one size fits most.
Vesta is amazing. I'll talk about Vesta. She helped make the tokens. She spent hours with us making the ceremonial. She helped write a lot of that. Shouldn't surprise anybody at all. Not at all. And Cormac, again, has been a special help to us personally. And we couldn't not give you cows and heads of cattle through our land when you came up with the idea. And he's just so helpful. So friggin' helpful.
Do you really trust a bear with cows?
Yes! We do. Don't eat them. Thank you. No, I'm not.
No, we have the armor champ. So.
Oh, okay. Where is that? Our former armor champion couldn't be here, and so we are going to have to skip the part where he steps down. But we are going to induct the new champion. Does he have the sword? Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that.
Ivan Shieldbane. He's the coach direction.
Yeah.
Ivan. Victorious this day on the field of combat, their excellencies Pierce and Melisande are minded to have you join their court as armored champion of Glyn Dwfn. Are you prepared to defend, nurture, and serve the barony and the people of Glyn Dwfn, and to swear fealty to your service to their excellencies?
I am.
Repeat after me. Here do I swear fealty and true service.
Here do I swear fealty and true service
To Melisande and Pierce,
to Melisande and Pierce,
the coronets of Glyn Dwfn.
the coronets of Glyn Dwfn,
To obey their excellencies' lawful commands.
to obey their excellencies' lawful commands,
And to faithfully execute the requirements
and to faithfully execute the requirements
of Armored Champion of Glyn Dwfn,
of Armored Champion of Glyn Dwfn,
to defend, nurture, and serve
to defend, nurture, and serve
the people of the barony,
the people of the barony,
so long as the Pantheon bears its star.
so long as the Pantheon bears the stars.
Yeah.
So say I, Ivan Shielding.
Your Excellencies, we for our part
And we, for our part,
swear fealty to you, our champion,
swear fealty to you, our champion,
to protect and defend you and your households,
to protect and defend you and your household,
to nourish and foster your endeavors,
to nourish and foster your endeavors,
promote your works beyond our land,
and to promote your works beyond our land,
with all our power,
with all our power,
and by every star in the
and
Pantheon,
by every star in the Pantheon,
so long as we remain coronets of Glyn Dwfn.
so long as we remain coronets of Glyn Dwfn.
So thank you.
So say we, here, Baron.
Please join us in our prayer.
Please join us in our court in your place of honor and in your right privilege. For people that don't know, this box goes from champion to champion. It has tokens, notes, other things from all the previous year's champions. It's actually not that heavy. It's just
We'll get it, Ed.
For the newest Armored Champion of Glyn Dwfn, a joyous noise.
so. Robert Angleton again couldn't be here. He's in another state. But we are going to induct him into our first company. And what we have done with our champions is when they step down, so long as they have completed their tenure, and he did swear fealty to us at investiture, and he's done his best, but he's got other things, and he's literally in a different state, continuing his education. We are creating companies for all of our martial champions and fellowships for all of our former ANS champions. And so as you hear me talk about those, I won't talk too in depth about those, but those are for our former champions. So we are going to create right now with him as the first, the Fellowship of the Argent Helm. Company of the Argent Helm, which is a nod to our original arms. And that's, yeah, can you read this thing? I can't work.
So that all who hear our words know that Robert Angleton has served faithfully the lands of the Starry Pantheon as Armored Champion, enriching the Barony of Glyn Dwfn, the Principality of the Summits, and the Kingdom of Antir with their skills and leadership in this martial discipline. Therefore do we, Millicandi and Pierce, coronets of Glyn Dwfn, being duly satisfied with their tenure as champion, add their name as premier to the rolls of the Company of the Argent Helm, and encourage their continued devotion to this martial art. On this 14th day of May, Anno Societatis 57.
The art was done by John Purchase, the calligraphy by Karen Destinger. And I apologize if I've missed any of these throughout, but I'll do my best to remember. But this is just gorgeous. And would you mind?
Yep.
Thank you. 3 cheers.
3 cheers for Robert Angleton, first member of the Order of the Argent Helm. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Thank you. Company. In other news, Their Excellencies bid Brandu Macabre to put his butt in front of them.
If you can. And you do not have to meet. This was not on our original list. Her Excellency was moved by your chivalry on the field today, but not just that. Her Excellency works with fighters a lot, and it is not a common occasion for a fighter to drop out of the finals because they know that they are unsafe or that they are going to hurt themselves. And it's really, she was very touched that you did that. That you bowed out, understanding you would not be safe to fight, and you would not be safe against your fighter, and you conceded that fight. And so we wanted to recognize that.
Brandu, their Excellencies have heard of your deeds and are utterly satisfied with what they have learned. After taking stock of the situation, they are moved to note you have proven yourself outstanding in your field. Their Excellencies choose to steer you into more participation by granting you, how many?
1.
1 head of cattle. You are hereby granted the exclusive rights and privileges to care for and nurture these cattle for the enrichment of the barony and on baronial lands, in so much as you remain in fealty to their excellencies, and provide 20% of all milk, cheese, and curds to the baronial coffers to be distributed and used as their excellencies see fit, not for resale. Not inheritable, transferable upon the event of your death, dismemberment, or defenestration. If rash, irritation, redness, or swelling develops, discontinue use. Safety goggles are required during use, not a toy. Discontinue if any of the following occurs: itching, aching, vertigo, dizziness, ringing in your ears, vomiting, giddiness, oral or visual hallucination, tingling in extremities, loss of balance or coordination, slurred speech, temporary blindness, drowsiness, insomnia, profuse sweating, shivering, or heart palpitation. If conditions persist, consult your physician.
Thank you.
Bell?
We don't have
Okay.
it. It's an item. 3 minutes. Oh, actually, no.
3. Take your bells. Do you want me to call them for you first? Or do you want to talk about the award?
No, I want to talk about it. This next award we are creating is called the Award of Stella Azzurra, which is Italian for the Blue Star. It is for exceptional service to the barony. This was not this was not actually a hard choice for us. I'm not gonna lie. It was not a hard choice. Sienna, can you come forward? And I don't say that to say that there are not other people providing exceptional service, but people who don't know Sienna and the service that she provides, it is beyond. And this scroll is probably is a work of love. It was made by 4 different people, and I'll try and read their names. One of which came from Glyn Dwfn. But the work you do, the assistance you provided us, is beyond what we could probably recognize effectively. And yes, she's a pelican, but that doesn't mean her work stops. And the fact that she still gives and gives to our barony and does it with such joy is moving to us. I really should not say that word. Has other connotations. So please hear the word.
As the stars burn brightly in the night sky, guiding those who look upward, seeking them for direction, so too do our subjects shine in their service and dedication to the barony. We are moved today to recognize one whose contributions and deeds have enhanced our lands and uplifted its people. Abhil Anciana, their excellencies Melisande and Pierce are minded to bestow upon you the award of the Stella Azzurra for your exemplary and inspiring service to Glyn Dwfn, on this 14th day of May, and on 57 B, 2022, Gregorian.
Designed by Kareth de Cuevas, calligraphy by Tekla Miskawa. I am sorry for anyone on the live stream. Fielding by Ursel Undenhan. Painting by Lady Soraya Obalo. This was done by several members of North Ontier who actually did this as a group project, the gilding, the painting, the calligraphy. And it's stunning. It is stunning. So please take that and thank you so much. Thank you.
For the first recipient of the award of the Stella Azzurra, hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! There we go. Event steward. Would the event steward come forward?
Back. Yep, word.
Thank you everyone for the awesome event. We had 85 adults come in and 17 youth. So that was really, really amazing for us. Really a lot of newcomers, which is always great for us. We also, with the silent auction, made $616 for the Summit's Travel Fund. So thank you for our auction donators and staff for helping that. Much appreciated. Please make sure to clean up after yourself. Thank you guys for an awesome event. Please make sure to turn in your gems and coins by tomorrow morning before court. Very specific time. Just
So we're doing a slight change of rules to Táin Bó this year. Just want to be clear on that. Yes, you can deposit your coins at any time. It needs to be at least half an hour before court to give time to count it. Unlike previous years, so anyone who has not been here, what happens is during our Sunday court, we do what's known as a mercenary auction. Members of Timberhaven that can't win, others who are unaffiliated or don't wish to throw in their coins to a specific branch, and it does need to go to a branch. It is not household specific, so you do need to choose a branch. Wow, there goes my brain. Thank you. Mercenary auction. They are bribing the people that are unaffiliated to give their coins. And we've had such things as cakes and literal garb. I have a cannon at home. Literally, I have a cannon. Like it's a rapier cannon, but it's a cannon. But this year, what we're implementing is that by 10 o'clock tonight, we will no longer allow people to dump one jar into another jar. And so if you're from a branch that doesn't have a lot of coins, make your alliances now, distribute your coins now, because after 10 o'clock, nothing can come out, only go in. So just what we had happen a couple of years ago was people would bid a whole bunch to a mercenary, and then 3 or 4 branches would kind of dump together. And so this person would have given away a lot of stuff, but then the numbers all changed very dramatically. So we're trying to avoid that. So
10 p.m. tonight.
10 p.m. tonight is the cutoff for making your alliances and combining your coins. And the jars are behind us, somewhere back there. So please make sure.
If your jar is not there, there are pieces of paper and a pen. Just write it with an empty jar.
Yep. And we have presents for you.
For me?
Yeah, for you and your staff. Yeah, let me. But then you're gonna come here.
Almbeg, their excellencies have heard of your deeds and are utterly satisfied with what they have learned. After taking stock of the situation, they are moved to note you have proven yourself outstanding in your field. Their excellencies are oxen you to continue on your path and therefore grant you 5 heads of cattle. You are hereby granted the exclusive rights and privileges to care for and nurture these cattle for the enrichment of the barony on baronial lands, insomuch as you remain in field, see their excellencies provide 20% of all milk, cheese, and curds to the baronial coffers to be distributed and used as their excellencies see fit, not for resale, not inheritable or transferable in the event of your death, dismemberment, or defenestration. Do not eat, not a toy, offered by weight, not by volume. Cows may settle during shipment. Some assembly require batteries not included. One size fits most participating locations in.
So Almbeg joined us kind of during the pandemic as well, and had never been to Táin Bó, had never been to a Glyn Dwfn event, and agreed to be event steward. Can I get more cheers? Because it's like, I love event stewarding too. I have a soft spot for event stewarding, but it's a lot of work. And so to jump in and say, yeah, I'll run this event for a branch I have never even met in person is exceptional. So thank you. And take it. She actually has a real cow, so this is even funnier. So you can bring your mini cow.
She's very small. She's mini.
She is. You need help up. And a bag.
For Almbeg, the newest recipient of 5 heads of cattle, ring your bells.
Lost and found. We have this. It's a badger, which is ironic, and it's got wings on it, and I think it's got a mushroom on its head. I don't know, but if this is anyone's, we also got a small green bead. If this is all the lost and found we got, you're not trying hard enough. We're not losing things easy enough. I know. So if this is one of yours, please come find us. Which one is this? Oh, perfect. No, I want to talk about it. I like it. We had actually made this choice obviously before this event, but this event solidified this award for us specifically. that we are now creating and inducting a first member order award. Award of the Acorn. Yeah. Ethan Dilly, please come forward. So Ethan, one, he's got a great, like, I tell him to do things and he just does them. It's exceptional. He's set up this screen twice and we've never used it. So I feel really bad about that.
Yes, you should maybe use them.
All right, we're gonna use it. Come over, watch a movie. He gave tours to newcomers. He helped me. I was looking somewhere and he was doing something else. He helped with setup. He helped set up the maze. This is an exceptional youth. This is the kind of thing that we love to see. And so for that, we are creating the Award of the Acorn, which is for the youth and children of our barony who, yeah, there's a part to read. It also comes with a small terracotta pot so that you can nurture and grow. I believe this is rosemary. But please hear the words of our herald.
Among the oaks, the mightiest trees all begin as tiny acorns. So too can the greatest of the Pantheon's children begin their long life in the society with the same potential. The future of Glyn Dwfn, like the oak forest, rely on our youth. Today we recognize the deeds of Ethan Dilly, who shows the promise of the acorn. Signed this 14th day of May, Anno Societatis 57. Done by our hand and seal, Melissandia and Pierce, Coronets of Glyn Dwfn. 3 cheers for the first recipients of the acorn of Glyn Dwfn. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip!
Designed and illuminated by Gwyneth Blackthorne, illustrated by Rose Atherton. Thank you so much. Keep doing it.
Your Excellencies, Faradak Mactrele McDummon Garrett, cut and thrust champion of Glyn Dwfn, has business in your court.
What is your business?
Your Excellency, my time as your champion has come to an end. In my final after term, I will confer with the victory. I would call for the victor of this day. Your cut and thrust championship tournament. And a worthy replacement to serve. And a great worthy replacement. For me.
Please call them forward.
Ian McCampbell.
Where'd you go? Oh, there.
I was hiding, you know.
Scabbard.
Ian.
I don't know if I have enough room on the arm for more darkness yet.
Got 2 arms.
Ian. Victorious this day on the field of combat, Their Excellencies Pierce and Melissandia are minded to have you join their court as cut and thrust champion of Glyn Dwfn. Are you prepared to defend, nurture, and serve the barony and the people of Glyn Dwfn, and to swear fealty or service to Their Excellencies?
I am.
Fealty or service? Fealty or service? Fealty or service?
Service.
Service? Do you now swear service to Pierce and Melissandia, your undoubted coronets, that you will faithfully discharge your duties as cut and thrust champion of Glyn Dwfn, obeying Their Excellencies' lawful commands in all matters that concern this barony, and deal courteously with those of every degree, so long as Their Excellencies remain coronets of Glyn Dwfn?
I do.
Your Excellency, and we on our honor, pledge to support you in your service to the barony, as cut and thrust champion of Glyn Dwfn, to protect and defend you, with all of our power, so long as we bear the coronets of Glyn Dwfn.
So say we. Pierce, Baron. Please join our court by our side as is your honor and privilege. There's word.
For the first champion of the first baronial champion of Glyn Dwfn, a joyous noise. First, or just 2 words?
I think we talked about it already. You've done a great job. You've had to be cut and thrust champion for 2 years. 2.5 years. I don't know how long it's been. And though he doesn't always wear his regalia, he did wear it today. He ran a successful tournament. He has won at other places, I know. But so we wanted to recognize you and induct you into this order.
Let all who hear our words know that Feradak Masrela and McDormand Garrett has served faithfully the lands of the Starry Pantheon as cut and thrust champion, enriching the Barony of Glyn Dwfn, the Principality of the Summits, and the Kingdom of Antir with their skills and leadership in this martial discipline. Therefore do we, Melisande and Pierce, coronets of Glyn Dwfn, being duly satisfied with their tenure as champion, add their name as premier to the rolls of the Company of the Sable Buckler, and encourage their continued devotion to this martial art. Done this 14th day of May, Anno Societatis 57.
Created by Contessa Elizabeth.
Oh, okay. Lorenzo di Leone Salvini, their excellencies bid you forward.
Again. We had to have a So not only is Lorenzo an exceptional member of our archer community, now a member of our court, he's also our herald. And he spent countless hours on all these awards that you're hearing names of. He's checking all of those. He's checking that they'll pass. He's checking that no one else has taken that name. And if they have, we just add up Glyn Dwfn at the end because we're, cheating a little bit. Not cheating, that's how you do it. But he did all that work. And we couldn't be thankful enough. And we know it was a lot. And we know it was a lot of back and forth. And we just appreciate it so much. So,
Lorenzo, their excellencies have heard of your deeds and are utterly satisfied with what they have learned. After taking stock of the situation, they are moved to note that you have proven yourself outstanding in your field. Their excellencies encourage you not to sit on your dairy heir by granting you, how many? 5 heads of cattle. You are hereby granted the exclusive rights and privileges to care for and nurture these cattle for the enrichment of the barony and non-baronial lands, so much as your main fealty, their excellencies, to provide 20% of all milk, cheese, and curd to the baronial coffers to be distributed and used as their excellencies fit, not for resale, not inheritable or transferable upon the event of your death, dismember, or defenestration. Avoid extreme temperatures and store in a cool, dry place. Keep away from fire, flame, and avoid direct contact with skin. Feedbacks and tray tables must be turned with upright position, and all cattle must be stowed in the overhead compartment or the air must be in front of you. Do not bend, fold, spindle, or mutilate. A joyous noise! A presentation from Lady Hannah the Storyteller and Fawn Woods, ambassadors of the Barony of Carrigbon.
another one. Somehow I didn't. Oh.
Investing, Con Woods and I, with the power to do anything he would do. And the thing that he would like to do. So I mentioned that the embassy only ever comes out for francs, and you were insufficiently suspicious. The last time that the embassy was present, we declared war upon the barony of Westermark, and if you see your fair colors, you easily can't do the crime. It is no ordinary war. It is a gifting war. Carrigbon sent them many gifts, and presumably they sent some gifts in return. I have no following up on to do. But Baron Honda would invite the barony of Glyn Dwfn to join Carrigbon in their gifting war against Westermark as an ally of the fine barony of Carrigbon. And we have brought you some ammunition, which perhaps you will pass on to His Highness to refill his coffer of
And a pass.
And TBR is the official beer.
was, yeah.
Your Excellency, I can taste test that for you. He has fears.
Yes, of course.
Her Excellency and our advisors, I believe there may be the potential for possibly something like that.
And remember,
Poison.
Ron,
I'm not sure yet.
they can't hurt you. That's how you come out of the
Don't
beginning.
see it.
Thank you.
You gotta be sure. You have to.
For the ambassadors of Táin Bó, a joyous noise.
There was no poison.
I don't know. I think you probably would have been better off with poison.
The Bardic competition begins at 8. Oh, sorry. The Bardic begins at 8 tonight. See her for details.
A little later.
We're losing the maid? Are we making some moose and running the maid? Usually it's a minute.
Mead competition is also at 8. Brewing competition. Do it then. The mead and brewing competition will also be at 8. If you have something to bring along, we have many categories. Mead, wine, beer, whatever you've got. I'm bringing a cocktail. Come take. It will only make your music and your story sound better. So come do both. Bring a chair. We'll be over here.
This last award, and this is our last award and our last piece of business, it's called the Order of the Pantheon. And it can only be given once per year. It does not have to be given. Its intended purpose is to recognize a member of the populace who has given everything they have, who is an upstanding member of our community, who has a lifetime of service, who is that person that you look to for inspiration, for guidance. It's modeled after similar orders in the Summit, Order of the Summit. Audientum has a similar one. We're calling ours the Order of the Pantheon. And today we would recognize the first member of that order. Verena, can you come forward? If you don't know Verena, she was one of the people that welcomed us in when we started. She is truly exceptional. She comes to Moot, even though she doesn't have to. I know. She wants to be involved. She wants to give back. And she is so incredibly humble, so she's probably kind of shocked that we would choose her. But it should not be a shock if you know this wonderful, wonderful person. And it makes me so happy that we could do this. Thank you so much for welcoming us into your home as we got here. And we hope we can return the favor sometime. I can't. And this scroll is actually quite amazing. If you haven't seen it, this was the scroll was entirely made by Bruin. I can never pronounce it. I always say ECAT's mom, who is the successor. ECAT's mom is an amazing calligrapher. We couldn't think of anyone better that would do this.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And we,
No.
oh, did you? I apologize. I did not realize that.
Mother did all the rest.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yes, the calligraphy in gold leaf by Katarina I'm not the builder.
That's He's had. Thank you so much. We wanted to.
Thank you.
Let's do the work.
In the beginning, as Glyn Dwfn was born as a barony, its people as varied as the stars in the heavens. Their excellencies, Pierce and Melisandria, first of their line, took unto themselves their prerogative to honor those whom they saw glittering with the ideals of the barony, and to recognize those whose labor had made the lands of the Pantheon flourish. Thus was created the Order of the Pantheon of Glyn Dwfn. Proclaim throughout the land that we, Pierce and Melisandria, coronets of Glyn Dwfn, being greatly inspired by the example set for us and our subjects by Duchess Verena of Laureland, through her contribution to the quality of life in our barony, do now create her a member of the Order of the Pantheon of Glyn Dwfn, with all the privileges pertaining thereto. The witness whereof we do set our hand and seal this 14th day of May, Anno Societatis 57, being 2022 Gregorian. For the first member of the Order of the Pantheon, hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Thus stands the court of their excellencies of Glyn Dwfn.
There being no further business at this time, thus ends the court of Luciano and Tessina, drastically sparkling Principe and Principessa of the summits. Long live King Sven!
Long live King Sven!
Long live Queen Rivken!
Long live Queen Rivken!
Long live Principe Luciano!
Long live Principe Luciano!
Long live Principessa Tessina!
Long live Principessa Tessina!
For their excellencies Glyn Dwfn, long life!
Long life!
For their excellencies Terra Pomeria, long life!
Long life!
Glyn Dwfn! Summits! Summits! On pier!
On pier!
On pier!
On pier!
On pier!
On pier!
To have their Highnesses leave to make merry.